G'day viewers, I'm Simon Christie. This week we venture deep into one of the world's last frontiers. We're in Malaysia, in the heart of Borneo. We're following a group of enthusiastic local four-wheel drivers and we're in search of local culture, history, adventure and nature. It's going to be a fantastic adventure, so come along for the ride as we enjoy the Trans Boreno. The island of Borneo lies to the east of mainland Malaysia. It covers 3 countries, Indonesia, Brunei and Malaysia, and its heart is set in off-roading. The Trans Boreno is an annual event that aims to delve into the heart of Borneo, exploring the 3 separate countries via four-wheel drive. This year we've got local enthusiasts plus international guests, 15 plus four-wheel drives, fully kitted out and set up ready to take on the challenge. The Trans Boreno is Asia's longest running off-road event. This year it's been led by Anwar Ghani. He and his team have over 25 years experience of running events and four-wheel driving across this amazing island. We're going to be trekking into the heart of the jungle, which is 140 million years old, making it Asia's oldest rainforest. The jungle here can bring an element of uncertainty, and things can change in a flash, but that will be part of the adventure. Hills, mud and water provide all of the fun when you're four-wheel driving in these conditions. But it's the weather that can change those conditions quickly and drastically. And it's not uncommon for an easy section of track to be turned into an impassable bog in minutes due to heavy rain. There'll be challenging times when the teams need to work together. Vehicles and individuals will be pushed to their limits, but that's what we're here for, to explore the island at its best and challenge ourselves along the way. Alongside the off-roading, we're going to be exploring the concept of Chan. We're looking for the culture, the cuisine, the history, adventure and agriculture, and the nature that this beautiful island has to offer. The route we're taking has never been completed by a four-wheel drive convoy. We're crossing over the borders in remote areas and we're hoping to encourage the establishment of new quarantine, immigration and customs points. This will allow for far easier immigration, communication and trading between the 3 countries on this island. I've been enlisted by the Trans Boreno as an ambassador of the event. Sabah Tourism are also heavily involved and we're here to cover the significant adventure and tourism opportunities that you can discover when you visit here yourself. One of the unspoken rules of the Trans Boreno is to expect the unexpected. So let's see what adventures lie ahead of us for the next 15 days. Our convoy assembled in Kota Kinabalu, gathering participants spanning across the Asia Pacific. The flags of each nation rippled behind vehicles that have been constructed and modified to take on the unique challenges that Borneo would throw at us.
Trans Boreno was started by a bunch of people from West Malaysia, and they were ex-Camel Trophy veterans. And after their experience in Camel Trophy, they decided that they wanted to do something similar. Malaysia and Sabah and Sarawak was a natural choice for it because of the terrain, because of the logging tracks and because of the jungle. Trans Boreno is the mother of all 4x4 events in this part of the world.
It seemed all of Kota Kinabalu bid us farewell and good luck. Notable officials, including the Sabah Minister of Tourism, came to flag us off in distinct Malaysian style. We were led by police escort who would part the seas of traffic, ensuring quick access to our next destination. Conditions here in the jungle are tough and unrelenting and can only be tackled with a well set up four-wheel drive. Now, just like in Australia, they've got a great range of vehicles, but the way they set their vehicles up here is a little bit different to the way we do back at home. Vehicle protection is important in the jungle. You'll see most of the vehicles running bull bars, rear bars and side steps. The bar work though is typically light and offers maximum approach and departure angles. All of the vehicles on our convoy are running winches, and it's great to see the vehicles running Nava lights as well as a range of Australian products. This well set up Nissan Patrol behind me is typical of the sort of tough jungle rigs we're utilising in this trip. Tall, aggressive tyres give clearance for the dips and the sort of traction we need in deep mud, whilst the suspension lifts the body and chassis up above the ruts, mud and water that we'll be encountering. Recovery gear and winches are a critical part of surviving the Borneo jungle. We've got a range of winches here that include PTO and electric, or vehicles like this that have a choice of both. Have a look at the height of this beast. It's set nice and high to give it the clearance we need, but it's also set wide to give it plenty of stability. Now, interestingly enough, this vehicle started life as an IFS vehicle, which limits how much lift we can give it, but the locals have done a solid axle swap in the front end to give it a full coil setup and the ability to lift it far higher. The vehicles here are tough and utilitarian. They're set up by local professionals who have the knowledge and experience to take on the jungle. They're a little bit different to the vehicles we have at home, but I can't wait to see how well they go.
We were supposed to take a road, but there's a big gully, they dug a deep ditch, and the backhoe and the excavator is not around. So this is the second route, the second toughest among the three. So there are three possible routes.
Yep.
Yeah.
We have just crossed over the border into Indonesia, and the going, guys, is getting tougher and tougher. It's an awesome adventure so far, and it's only just begun. I can't wait to see what's up and over the next hill. As the sky grew darker, the tracks became tougher, and soon enough, every car required a winch through the jungle mud.
Where's the winch controller?
It was a team effort as everyone worked together, stacking logs, trudging through slop, attaching cables, or giving guidance for one final push to see us safely to the top of the mountain. what an eventful 24 hours it has been. A big part of the Trans Boreno is an expect the unexpected. Coming in last night towards the Indonesian border was an absolute epic journey. 5 hours of winching dragged us into the dark, pulling the convoy through some treacherous conditions. It took a lot of work from the Aussies, the Malaysians, the Indonesians and the Brunei all combined together to get all of our vehicles through, but we did it successfully. The trail took us in and out of the Indonesian border quite a few times, but where we finished up was the actual official joining point between Indonesia and Malaysia on this section of track here. And that's where the unexpected came to a whole new level. We were met by armed soldiers, and understandably so. Here's a group of 15 vehicles coming out of the jungle. There's no post here, there's no immigration, and moving into another country. Of course, it's going to be a concern, especially late at night. Now that concern meant that we were stuck in this makeshift campsite behind me overnight. And we've been here for quite a bit of today as well, waiting to find out what is going to happen.
So we always have a plan B in place just in case, this is not the first time where we had to go out of our plan.
Can we talk about our plan to get out of here if we're doing plan B?
Okay.
Now in heading back the way we came, we're going to encounter those same obstacles that caused so much drama for us last night. And we've put together a plan. Oh look, everyone here is pretty competent, they're efficient with their vehicles, and most of the vehicles are set up quite well, so it's not doing things in a different way, it's just planning things a little bit better to be more efficient on the way out. And we've got an order of how we'd like the vehicles to go out, and basically it's going to be one big, one small, one big, one small.
Yep.
We want to avoid winching, which consumes a huge amount of time, and we'll simply be setting up a snatch strap behind the bigger, heavier vehicles to drag those lower vehicles through the difficult sections. Jeff has helped with the plan, so I'm probably going to put the Defender down first, Jeff.
Yeah, look, what Simon said, basically there's some vehicles that are quite capable, but probably not heavy enough to help drag another vehicle through, so they'll go through on their own in amongst it before it gets torn up too much. And the vehicles that gave us problems will have a large truck in front of them.
If anybody needs anything fixed, or if there's anything that you're concerned about mechanically with your vehicle, let us know now, so we know what we've got to deal with out there. If there's something broken that we can't fix, let us know now so we can deal with that to make sure you're looked after to get us out as efficiently as possible.
Very good, very kind of you.
Expect the unexpected is what we were told on day one, and that's never more relevant than when in the jungle. So when plan A has been washed away by torrential floods, you just have to deal with plan B. And in this case, a makeshift, half caved in log and mud bridge was our only real option for crossing this deep ravine. The jungle areas of Borneo are remote and unforgiving. There is no support, no phone service, and no emergency recovery services. You simply do what you have to do to keep the convoy rolling, and that's where experience and teamwork really come into play. Working together and taking it one vehicle at a time was the only way to go, and for each vehicle and driver, traversing the bridge was a different experience based on wheelbase and the available traction. A simple slip here would be disastrous. The risk to man and machine was real, but with all hands and eyes on deck, one by one, the vehicles crawled or winched their way safely across the obstacle. Working together and utilising the equipment at hand as best as possible saw us smoothly crossing this section of rough terrain without mishap. For sure, they sometimes do things differently, but here in the jungle, you just have to get by with what you have. After an hour of slow going, careful wheel placement, guiding and at times winching, our convoy of 17 vehicles and 53 odd participants finally made it safely across the makeshift bridge. But our journey out of the jungle was far from over, and a long haul of muddy, slippery and rutted trails stood before us and our next destination. With time slipping away, we were at the least making solid progress on these rough and rarely used jungle tracks. But there were smoother roads ahead as we climbed out of the jungle and into the rooftop of Borneo, where stunning views and a well-earned lunch awaited our weary group.
We are in the Trans Boreno, and I'm from Dance Trail Gear Sdn Bhd, and I'm the official driver for the media of 4-wheel drive TV. This is my first Trans Boreno. Before that, we only organized a small group of us, 6 to 7 cars. We do visit towns, districts out of Kota Kinabalu. My car, it's a Nissan Safari, done a little bit of modification to it. We upgraded using UFI turbo, injectors, cross-country intercoolers, 4-inch snorkel and fence fabrication airbox. The suspension is 6-inch lift from Superior Engineering. For off-road, I'm using the 36 Cymex Centipede. All other accessories that we have, the driving lights from Narwa, winches from Vaughan, fog lights, the camping lights, and the bar works are from Dance Trail Gear. This car is good for both on and off-road. It's a mean machine. Dance Trail Gear was founded in November last year. We founded Dance because we wanted something different from what we have in Sabah. Most of the shops in Sabah are selling aftermarket parts, so are Dance, but we try to concentrate more on selling products from Australia, which we believe they have superior quality products that we can trust. If you are looking for any products that we carry in our shop at Dance Trail Gear, you can visit us at www.dancetg.com.
Later in our adventure, we headed towards the small farming village of Bacalalan, located in the neighbouring state of Sarawak. If you're coming from the north, the only access is via a 125-kilometre logging trail from the town of Loas, a four-wheel drive only road that can take 6 or more hours depending on the weather. Such was the case with our expedition. Between long stretches of decent track were pockets of deep, greasy mud that could undo us if tackled without thought and attentiveness. At certain points, the convoy would stop to let every car through one by one, ready to provide assistance if someone fell into a literally sticky situation.
This place is called Malaya Basin Conservation Area. The total area of this place is about 588 square kilometer. It's a fully protected area to protect and preserve the flora and fauna inside the rim. Here in Malaya Basin, we have more than 1,800 species of plants. We also have more than 86 mammals, more than 300 species of birds.
From the heart of Borneo and sadly on the closing leg of our adventure, our convoy pushed further west and onwards to the ocean and our ultimate destination, the tiny sovereign state of Brunei. We've just made our crossing into Brunei. It's the final leg of our journey for the Trans Boreno, and it's not too long to go to our last night on the island. The Trans Boreno could not have happened without the hard work of the event organisers and the generous support of many other groups. What an adventure! The memories I've made will last forever. Memories of the delicious food, incredible history, tough jungle tracks, the breathtaking nature, and of course the amazing people. Be sure to keep an eye on our 4Drive TV YouTube page for more upcoming adventures.